Hey everybody, this is B-Ren from Androidnerds.net, and I'm just bringing you a quick little unboxing of the Motorola RAZR for Rogers. So as you can see here, Motorola RAZR. It's kind of standard boxing, so we take that off, and there you can see the phone. It's got all the details on the back about it, you know, in terms of a megapixel camera with 1080p video recording, 4.3 inch Super AMOLED advanced and dual core. So box, you know, your regular stuff. We'll get that out of the way. So there you go, there you can see the device. We'll pop that out and we'll take a look at that in a second. So in the box, I have already opened this up, but you can see you do get a micro HDMI cable with it. Pair of standard headphones, all the regular user guide, such, etc., all that type of stuff. I have taken the charging cable out already to charge it up, so you can see you get your regular wall plug here. Nice thing is it does have two USB ports on it, so you can actually charge multiple things off it. And then your standard USB cable with micro USB there. So get rid of all that. Take a look at the device. So there is the Motorola RAZR. Now again, this isn't the Droid version because the Droid version is only in the US on Verizon. So we'll start with probably the best new feature on this, which is the back, which has that Kevlar fiber back, you know, solid non-removable battery cover. You know, it's a little slippery, but it does kind of have a soft touch feel to it. Also on the back you can see there's the 8 megapixel camera that will record in 1080p, your LED flash, and your speaker. Down at the bottom there is a microphone. On the left side, basically nothing except for this little trap door, which is where you put your micro SIM and your SD card. Rogers did not include an SD card in this, which is a little bit of a downer, but not a big deal if you have a bunch sitting around. So again, that closes right up, nice and flush. On the bottom, really nothing there. There is a microphone on the front of the device there. On the right side of it, you can see we have our power button there, which is actually aluminum, which does have a bit of kind of texture to it, which is kind of nice. You can feel it. And then the volume rocker, which is kind of tiny and plastic. Not the greatest, but it does work. And then on the top of the device, you can see you have your 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, your micro USB for charging and syncing, and your micro HDMI for hooking up to the TV. So we'll turn it on here. So you can see also on the front, there's a nice little kind of aluminum Motorola logo there above the earpiece. You also have a 1.3 megapixel front-facing camera, and then there's all your regular sensors are built in there as well. So we'll turn on the device here. So it is a 4.3 inch Super AMOLED advanced display, so it is QHD, which is nice. There has been a lot of talk about the display on this phone because it is a pentile matrix. Again, I've only really noticed any issue with it, say I'm in the browser and I really zoom in on some sort of text, you know, you can really notice it there. Other than that, not really that noticeable. The QHD makes up for it. If it wasn't QHD, I would say there'd probably be a bigger issue with it, but with it being QHD, not a big deal. So you can see it's their standard Motorola UI. It's not Moto Blur anymore, it's just Blur or whatever they're calling it. So you get your standard Motorola widgets, so you get some scrollable widgets, you know, regular weather app, all your kind of standard stuff. The best one though is the contacts widget, which you can just scroll down and then scroll up. Nice little touch to it. Everything else is pretty much, you know, kind of standard that we're used to seeing. So we'll go down just to show you here about the phone. So it is running Android 2.3 by 0.5. So it's Gingerbread. It will be getting upgraded to Ice Cream Sandwich. Motorola has said as much. So hopefully once the source code drops for that, we'll get another upgrade on this one. So, but probably the biggest thing about this phone is the thinness. So you can see this is a 7.1 millimeters thin at its thinnest. It does have the little hump here for the camera, but it's not that noticeable. It is a big device. There is quite a large bezel around the screen, so the screen could have been a little bit bigger, but it's fairly tall, and it's just over 2 inches wide. Luckily, I've got larger hands, so it's not that big a deal for me. But I could see if you have smaller hands, one-handed use would be pretty much not possible. But again, you are going for that thinness on this phone, and it is very thin, very light. I have noticed putting it in my pocket, sometimes you don't really realize it's there. So to give you an example here, so we'll take Nexus S, and we'll hold it up against the Nexus S there, let it focus. So you can see just how thin it is. The curve kind of throws it off there. So you can see, just how thin that is. We'll also take a Evo, just to show you against a slightly thicker device. So there's against an Evo, you can see just how massive the Evo looks in its thickness compared to this phone. It's kind of remarkable that they were able to fit everything into this. Obviously, because of that, you don't get that removable battery. It's in there. I have been using the phone for about a day or two now, and I have noticed that the battery life is quite good on HSPA Plus. Obviously, if you're on Verizon and you get the Droid version, the LTE is going to make a difference on that. But up here in Canada on Rogers, just running the 3G, and it seems to be doing fine. So that's just a kind of first look at the RAZR. We're obviously going to be doing a full review on this, so we'll bring you a full review looking at all the things in the device in terms of smart actions, general everyday usage on it. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching.